Oh, that's meant to do.
In the land of Freya, darkness spreads its wings. A corruption so deep, it poisons everything. But in the shadows, a group of heroes arise. Bound by courage, they'll never compromise. Through treacherous valleys and mountains high, they fight for justice, never questioning why. Their hearts ablaze, united they stand against the forces of evil hand in hand. Oh, hear the legends of our sacrifice. In the face of darkness, we will rise with valor in our hearts. We'll take a stand, defend us on Freya, we'll save the land.
Good evening, everybody. Matt Geary here for Geek Pride's Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition campaign, The Legend of Our Sacrifice. It's good to be back. It feels like it's been forever. So, with us tonight, as always, we have Conrad as Arno Jerkel.
Hello.
We have Michael as Tharval Eldon.
We're back.
We have Jace as Brother Gadden.
I find this barbarism utterly uncharitable.
We have Lecky as Bartholomew Pringle.
How do we play again?
Marcus Lance.
The first thing we sacrificed was our memory.
And Vic as Saren Sanguine.
Doing what now?
Bartholomew Pringle, he
there we
loves
go.
a good jingle.
So obviously you guys have you've taken loads of notes and you can give us a recap of what's happened. But it's been a while. I don't even know how long it was since Nobody's. When did we finish Nobody's?
I think it's over a month, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's been a while.
So it's been a while. So we had our one shot inverted commas, which went pretty well. Has an effect on what we're doing now. But back to when we left the actual party before the Nobodies took over. We had a big ending.
Matt was a wanker.
Matt was not. Matt was just trying to give you something challenging. And I succeeded, which was quite good. It felt good. So yeah, we'll do a quick recap on what has happened for those who are suffering from D&D amnesia. Let me put on. Where is tavern music? Let's stick that on for generic tavern music. Okay, so in the last session, our group had sort of made their way to the war room to decide what was going to happen with the siege that was going on in the temple of the. They had sort of dealt with the first round of assaults. Basically, they had these red priests had impressed a load of militia and conscripts to sort of assault the walls. The group saw these guys off. Unfortunately. When they were sort of kind of in the war room to discuss things, they found out that these the dead bodies of the first assault didn't stay dead for very long, and their sort of zombified remains started to assault the walls in hordes. With that, the mastermind of the entire thing, Selena Ashvine, Selena Ashvine, or Ashvine, sorry, had managed to worm her way to getting the location of Arno's demi-plane. Is it a demi-plane? Demi-plane?
Yeah.
Demi-plane.
Convenient.
Yeah. He got a demi-plane, basically. She was inside his ring. So she was basically inside his ring waiting for him. With that, she used the demi-plane as basically a bridge to get through the anti-magic fields. So they, as Arno sort of came out of his ring, she spilled out of her ring with a load of oh, Holden Marek. Oh, Holden Marek, back to the old days. So they spilled out with a load of zombies that had started to come through this portal. They'd sort of via Arno's ring. With that, her and some pretty nasty dead beholders, which are called, what are they called? They're not called dead. They're something tyrants. Death tyrants. They're called death tyrants. Basically caused a lot of problems in the very narrow confines of the war room. The death tyrants have a anti-healing ray, basically, that stops any within a cone of what it sees. They can't heal, and so Selena, being quite a high level spellcaster, was throwing nukes everywhere, and we had a few down players. In fact, I think there was only 2 of you left actionable by the end of it. I think Gadden had been frozen, Tharaval was down, Bartholomew was down.
I think we're just stuck in place.
Some of you, yeah.
Yeah, I was literally like inches from stabbing someone in the back, and then somebody else came in and went.
Yeah, I think
like,
that
"That's
was.
fine,
I think
that's
Echo.
fine,
It was.
then."
I think that might have been. Was it? Oh, was it? Who killed her? It was. It was you. I think it was you, because I think.
Did I get the last hit in?
I think you might have, because it was Niasil had got himself up there, and then you had sort of kind of finished.
Yeah, it's
Finished her off. Yeah. So, with her death, her sort of retinue of undead sort of dissipated into dust, into dust, and that's basically where we were left. There was a note. One of the guards who got himself two critical hits with his crossbow got renamed Johan Wixon. So there's Johan Wixon.
forgot about that.
And Johan Wixon, who made an appearance in The Nobodies, if you know, you know. And that's pretty much where we are. So the dust, the literal dust, has just settled after Ashvine's demise. With that, things, you hear sort of the noise of, you hear the noise of battle and sort of stuff happening outside in the background. Actually, let's see. Let's put on something else. Yeah. Okay. So you hear battle, so still going on outside. You have zombies still assaulting the walls, and you've just finished off their leader. With that, Arno sort of gets out from underneath the table. Tharaval and Bardi sort of kind of get up. Guards are sort of kind of surrounding the sort of local area. You've just, like, the dust has just settled on the ground from her demise when you start to feel this sort of kind of shuddering from below you. The table, the map, war room table starts to sort of kind of shake, rapidly. You see it sort of slightly break in the middle. roll me a who around there. What we got? So we got who else is in and around the table?
Yes. I'm off to one side.
Okay, so Brother Gaddon, Arno, Bartholomew, Tharaval, roll me a perception check.
I'm just gonna
20,
plus
30,
3 for this one. Sorry, 1 second, because I'm in the middle. 13.
Well, in the middle, you're in the middle of leveling up.
Yeah.
Wait,
No,
talk about-
as in, no, I'm not in the middle of leveling up. So basically, my character sheet decided not to level me up, even though I've done this 3 times.
Oh, okay.
I was gonna say something to you, but it's just,
Oh.
yeah. So I'm having to remember what I actually put into
What?
it. But yeah,
Again, what level are we supposed to be?
16.
16.
We
I'm
are
with you.
totally all 16.
Yeah. Yep. Yep. Okay. So yeah. Okay. We'll give you all a give you all your sort of. So you notice this happening, and you sort of back off from the table and tell everybody to move out of the way. So everybody sort of starts to back off from where the table is. There are books and stuff from the shelves start to fall off. Right. With that, things suddenly stop for what seems like just a couple of seconds, and then suddenly this blue light bursts through the center of the table and blasts up through the roof of the cathedral that you're in.
Shit.
In fact, we do this. Everybody can see this, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Okay.
crap.
See black.
Okay, so obviously this was a scene from not Blair.
Yeah,
Oh.
cool.
Oh,
Is this an AI video?
Crappy AI, but there you go, yeah. So basically, this blue light just sort of smashes up through the center of the thing. All the zombies sort of dissipate and just turn to dust. Again, if you know, you know.
Yeah.
If you know the reference, you know the reference. If you've been paying attention, you know why. If you haven't, then for shame.
So can you just back up a minute?
Yeah.
Take me through it step by step. Lols. I know it is.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So yeah, there we go. That was what happens. So this blue light smashes through the table. You know, you won't see the stuff that's happening outside, but you will be told about this as it was. You know, people will tell you what happened, but this smashes up and everything around you, all the zombies just sort of puff into dust as it sort of
Magic
flutters down onto the ground. So we'll go back into the room. We're back in the room. Here you go. So do
Not
that.
having a moment.
Things around and shit.
So this is now doing this.
No, it should be foreground then, I guess. Oh no, it's GM level. It's the closest I could find to something that sort of resembled what I was trying to say. Where are we? Put this on to...
Nice.
Yeah, so you have this light that's sort of kind of blasting up through the ceiling, and it doesn't have, bar the sound of it crashing through the ceiling and some masonry and stuff hitting the ground. There's no sound to it. It's just this concentrated light. With it, you sort of feel. You sort of feel a bit of, you feel warmth. Some part of you feels sort of, like safe. There's something about this light that has steeled you. All injuries seem to heal themselves after your battle, and you seem to feel more empowered, as if you've gained a level.
Yeah.
16 or 17?
Yeah.
20.
20. Oh, that's going to be a problematic day
20.
right there.
Rubberdingy Rapids.
Rubberdimmy Rackets. Right, okay. So yeah, that has happened. Do you want to discuss this in this room? I can sort of move it forward. It's up to yourselves.
I think we would run outside to see what was going on.
Yeah, okay. So you take yourselves out. You leave the room. You go to the.
Hang on.
I
think
know.
Gavin's probably the only one would stay.
No,
Gavin
Arno would stay as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you
One
can.
of us would run outside.
Yeah.
We did it.
We did it. Okay, the ones you run outside, you sort of kind of run up. You sort of see this light sort of kind of piercing through the center of the central the complex, and you run to the walls, and you just see amazed soldiers and civilians alike looking down on it's like this weird mockery of a spring day, but instead of rose petals and sort of cherry blossoms falling, it's just this sort of dusting of ash that's sort of making its way around the battlefield. You see sort of in the distance that there doesn't seem to be much of the army left that was sort of in front of you. You see some figures sort of kind of skulking off into the forests into the background, but they're that once sort of crowded entrenched area around the complex is bare. There's a massive sort of cheer after this sort of general sort of shock at what's happened, and people obviously outside don't know what's happened. They just know that the enemy no longer is at their gate. And we can go from there. So whoever's outside or whoever's inside, whoever wants to go first.
I'll let the inside guys go first.
Okay.
So, I don't know what Gadden is doing, but Arno will be running over to any kind of corpse left behind from the evil lady, and just trying to pat her down.
Oh shit! Was I meant to give you? Oh yeah, I was meant to give you loot, and I didn't. Shit!
Oh,
That's all right. You guys, some of you guys forgot they level up. I forgot to give you loot. Okay, yes.
Hey,
See,
I can't help
it's-
being shit.
It's not. It's
I know.
contrary. Obviously, that's an added effect,
Yeah.
but it's not for the reason of looking for loot. He is
careful,
very
Arno, she may be-
disturbed by the fact that she produced Cyril's family mug.
Okay, yeah. So you.
And he's looking for any sign of anything and just ignoring everyone else. And
Yeah. You see, as you're going
Fine.
through
Push over.
her bits, I will.
Pardon?
Your bits.
Excuse me?
Way,
Excuse me?
way.
Can
Well, that
Barty
didn't take long.
can
well,
Barty
she
grab
did
Grab
him?
it.
go come out my ring.
Can Barty
Oh,
rush over and
God.
try and pull him back a bit?
You went outside, didn't you?
I thought it stayed in.
Yeah,
Sorry.
you can stay. Yeah. If
Oh,
you want.
did
Yeah,
you?
we
If
can-
you stay in,
Whoever
stay.
wants to stay in can stay in. It's not.
I want to be in. But he's literally gonna, if he's got time, he's gonna rush over and just like grab Arno and be like, be careful, she could be ensorcelled. Yeah, a single touch could disintegrate you. Allow me to check her, please. And he'll do like detect magic to see if there's any sort of like lingering effects.
You cast detect magic, and there's nothing. There's no residual effects. Nothing. All of her power is has gone. She's sort of her ashen look is turning into like she's starting to crumble herself as you speak.
So Barty looks over to Anno and goes, have at it, Jimmy, pat her down. And then I'm going to start pulling out this silver cage from the chain that's around his neck.
Anno kind of
be quick.
Just nods and gets to it and just tries to scramble around looking for any evidence of whether...
you find you know, obviously bar the things that I will give you. You do find the Cyril's mug. You find Cyril's mug, and you find what else would you find? That would be
dressing.
You find
these nuts.
What else? His nuts. You find a.
Is there any trace of? Is there any trace of Eldrith?
Yeah, you'll find.
Well,
okay, yeah, you'll find her brooch. Actually, no, you won't. You won't find her brooch.
No,
you won't find her brooch.
Okay.
You find the mug, and that is it. So I don't want to paint myself into a corner. You find his mug, and that is it.
Would you ever do that?
Yeah. Yes. So you find his mug. Nothing else that sort of is any relevance. Obviously you find some other stuff that I will give you, but that's the only thing. You find his mug.
When Arno's finished patting her down, is Barty able to cast his soul cage spell, or are we saying she's too far gone? Because it is meant to be as she's dying. I was probably unconscious.
What's the wording on it?
As written, it's like as they're dying. And I think I was KO'd at the time.
Yeah, she's dead.
Talking myself out with something really fucking cool.
No, I managed to heal you up.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
No, you
didn't.
I
did.
No,
Excellent.
No, look, check the logs because I remember casting a heal.
There's also he shouldn't have gone down because of Arno's name of books. So name in the book.
Oh.
Should have been on 1 HP, and we completely forgot.
Well,
no, I couldn't say. I couldn't get to. I couldn't reach Barty. So technically, yeah.
Yeah, well, I think he would be up, but it's just sort of Saren obviously has stabbed her. I'll tell you what I'll do. Because we're not 100% sure. I will give you a
chance to roll.
A chance to
roll. We're rolling for it.
I will let you roll for it. I will let you roll for it. Okay.
What are we rolling?
Just a simple D6. 1, 2, 3. No. 4, 5, 6. Yes.
The dice have spoken.
Yeah, the dice have spoken.
Failure.
Yeah, so you sort of rush over with your cage, hoping that she's still sort of alive. But as you sort of kind of pull out the cage, and Arno sort of he basically rips the mug out of her hand, and her body just disintegrates into the ash like the rest of the zombies. She has some of her necklace and some other bits and pieces of her staff and things that are left, but her body no longer.
She's as miserable a bitch in death as she was alive. Ooh, a staff.
Ooh, a staff. Yes, there is a staff. I'll say so. There's a staff. There'll be some sort of magical necklace and some other little bits and pieces. I think that will go along with it. I will.
We'll gather the effects and discuss when everyone's together. I suppose.
Okay, so yeah, that's it. So you've got this massive beam of light coming in through the center of the room. You've sort of rifled through her body, looted what you need to loot. What else is going on?
Gadden would have been staring through the holy light on the floor. Well, he's assuming it's good. He hasn't really done he hasn't communed with he hasn't done his channel divinity yet.
As you're sort of kind of looking at this light, you notice the very apt guard, temple guard, looking slightly panicked. He sort of turns to you and says, "At your lease, sir." And he turns and he runs out the door. He runs out the door. Leaves. Johan leaves.
Feeling.
Oh no, well,
You're gone.
oh, sorry, Adrian. Well, you'll
There you
just feel the kind of presence as you're staring into the thing, and you sort of look down and see Arno. He doesn't look at you. He's holding this mug, and he just says, "I wonder if I'll ever have to not worry about my brother."
He turns and looks towards Arno, seeing his distress and grief in a cocktail of emotions, along with the bedraggled scars across his face from being lopped around by fire and brimstone. And then he says, "Would you like to find out?"
Yes.
I don't know why, but I'm looking at this pillar of light and I feel...
What is it?
I'll show you. And with that, he kind of, with his hands, as if the magic within the portal somehow wills him to do something, he reaches out with his hands, and then, as if by thought, he spends about a minute, and then holds onto his, and then with his other hand holds onto his holy amulet, and begins to commune with that ray of light.
Okay. Right. Okay. Yeah. You. So how would it be? So divine things are blah blah blah. Clear answer. Is it in your head or do you speak? Case.
He's gonna ask 3 questions in his head. He won't say it, but he knows what he's gonna ask. The first question he's gonna ask is this your doing?
You hear a young voice reply quite politely, yes.
He without asking the question, he's going to see if he recognizes the voice. He's going to use history check to see if he does.
Okay, yeah.
I have an advantage on this, I think.
Do you?
No, I don't.
No, it doesn't sound familiar.
Fine. The next question he has asked is, will Arno's brother be safe?
The voice replies, yes.
The last one, he makes this assumption based on the fact that the voice is quite young, and he says, and he asks the question, are you a servant of Bahamut? He says this one out loud.
With that, the light pulses. With the pulse, you hear a more... It's young, but with an overtone of draconic power. Just, yes.
So, does Arno hear that?
Yes, everybody in the room will hear it say yes. You'll notice that Niasil, he is no longer in his sort of his draconic form. The light sort of, as it sort of blasted out, it sort of knocked him back, and he's sort of gone back into his Gregor form.
Okay. I asked the question. He is both. It seems to me that he is both a agent of. You already heard my question whether he is actually agent of Bahamut or not. But he says that Cyril will be safe. This is his doing.
Who are you talking about? What was that voice?
Don't worry about it. Just good guy stuff. You'll know when the time comes. But he's going to be safe. He'll be fine. Stay on the path. In the meanwhile, this thing here, extraordinary. This is like unheard of. So I don't want to spend too much time studying it. Instead, I would like to get these bumbleboys over here who has been too busy sitting on their bums and not enough fighting to go do their job and secure this area.
Arno just steps forward and he says, seems so powerful. And mesmerized, he sort of reaches his hand out towards the light slowly.
And then he kind of just like reaches over slightly as if in the motion to swat his hand away and said, don't touch what you don't know.
He slowly retreats his hand.
Carry on, Arno. I'm taking notes. Don't worry.
No, don't encourage him, okay?
By the way, sorry, just because it just came into my head.
I'm the guy who touches things.
Yeah. What did I do with Kivy? By the way, I've completely forgotten what I did with her.
Kivy, you send her to Super Saiyan, Super Jin, and destroy Tiamat.
Yeah, that's what it is. I'll have to think. I'll have to watch back because I can't remember what I did with her, so I don't want to do anything because I think she's the one who gave.
It's not clear.
Yeah, because
you didn't say anything about.
She
Kivy.
had to sort of. I think she gave the coordinates, or something happened. Yeah,
Well, you haven't. Careful what you tell us, because we don't know much.
Yeah. I'll have to watch back because I can't fully remember in my head. Okay. All right. Yeah. No problem. So I'll not intervene with her because I'm not 100% sure what I did with her. So yeah, I'll have a think and then I'll get back to you. Okay. Yeah. Sorry. Carry on.
So at this point here, Gadden's gonna look at the rest of the soldiers and says, so listen, this light show here is not a disco, so make sure that you secure the area now and don't let any more people in. Just because it's safe and it got rid of the undead doesn't mean to say that the bad forces can come in. Now chop, sweetie, come on, let's go. And he's like basically like rousing them to get to hurry up and moving them along.
The guards who are completely awestruck by what has happened take a few moments. Usually they're quite quick to sort of do as they're told, but sort of are quite drawn to the light, but eventually sort of tear themselves away and take themselves off to sort of secure the outside of the room.
Don't go into the light, but it's so pretty.
Okay.
So yeah, and then he looks at Barty and he says, I think in case you didn't hear, Divine Light, Bahamut's doing, don't touch it. And if you want to know more, give it a moment. It'll come to me.
Okay. Tiamat, who's sort of, he's actually in the middle of that. He's somewhere around. He's in there somewhere, but he sort of just kneels down with his axe, and sort of you hear him sort of praying in Draconic as he sort of kind of looks at the as he sort of prays to the light that's sort of shining out of the center of the room. Anybody else in the room want to do anything? Or who else was in the room? Otherwise, I will move outside.
Arvel and Zerville there, but I think they're okay for the time being.
Who was anybody outside? So nobody left. Then you all stayed put.
I left.
Okay.
I went outside to see what was going on.
Okay. All right. So, Lance, you sort of walk outside, and you see as you exit the main temple complex, temple building, you see it sort of the roof it's shattered, and you see this light sort of beaming through into the sky. Clouds, as you see, sort of clouds sort of parting as it sort of pushes this sort of unnatural hued darkness away. It seems to sort of not sort of it's like it gives this sort of kind of light flutter of blue embers that sort of kind of come down and seems to be sort of covering the full complex, like like the magic fields that were originally there and weren't anymore, and now have this one sort of effective, not a dome, but you kind of see this sort of magical I guess it is magical snow of sorts, sort of kind of going around the complex itself.
It's dandruff.
Sorry, yeah, dandruff. Yeah,
It's dandruff. Yeah,
it's dandruff. You get yourself make your way onto the walls, and like you see what I described. You see what was once a field filled with the enemy and then the undead who were you see sort of piles of this sort of kind of dust or dirt sort of piled up against the wall, which you can only assume was once, these piles of dead sort of making their way up one side of the wall. And you see people just, some of them are just standing there gawping, others are kneeling and sort of praying towards the lights. You hear sort of talks of, you hear this sort of people saying that they've seen visions. There's a saint. There's a saint that has given up their life to save everybody, and it just the whole place that was once this sort of cacophony of warfare and screaming and shouting it's silence. Even the light doesn't emanate any noise. It's just this pulsing looking blue light coming silently from the center of the complex itself.
Okay.
Yeah. If you roll me a perception check. Yep. You're about to sort of turn around, and you sort of notice to the northwest of the complex and the walls itself, you sort of notice a line of men and horses sort of making their way towards the complex itself.
Do I recognise any banners or anything?
They're pretty far off. Unless you've got anything that lets you see further, then you're not going to probably recognise them.
I think I do. So that's fine. Okay, so I call out to the men and try to rouse them to do their duties and to pay closer attention to the walls in case any of the enemy are left, and implore them to remember that they're there to defend, not just to watch, however miraculous the events have been.
You have sort of like one of the sergeants who you know relatively well from the weeks you've sort of been sort of training people and preparing for the siege. It's like, my lord, it's a bloody miracle. I honestly thought I'd never see my family again, and they're gone. Every last one of those demons is gone.
Well, I accept that they have gone, but the enemy has many soldiers and many troops of different types. And right now, I need you to persuade the troops to bring themselves back to their training, and to start keeping an eye out, lest we be caught with our britches down, celebrating too early. The last thing we need is to get through this, and then to lose everything and snatch defeat from the jaws of victory.
Of course, sir. Right at you. And he gives you a salute, and then he starts shouting orders at his men to sort of secure the walls and to check for the injured, as they all sort of kind of go off and do what they need to do. Okay, who's next?
It's the Roman lover. I mean, sorry, Vic.
Fish.
He's back.
That's right, I forgot you and Niacil.
Oh my god.
Yep.
Worst split second decision ever.
Oopsie.
I'm kind of like sort of pulled my hood up to like trying to keep all this zombie ash out of my hair. And I'm like looking around like I don't trust any of this whatsoever. Yeah, they're gone, but there's just a look of complete I don't know what the fuck is going on, but I don't trust a single thing that is going on my face.
Are you saying this out loud, or are you just sort of kind of thinking this?
I'm kind of like grumbling out loud, like freaking zombie dust in my head. It's ridiculous.
You have sort of a passerby who hears you and says, "This is a miracle. This is why I came here. We, sister, have witnessed a miracle. This is..." And she sort of kind of just looks at the light and just tails off from what she's saying, and then gets down on her knees and starts praying in front of the sort of the light in front of her.
You believe in your miracles, I'll believe in what I see and hear.
She ignores you and just carries on praying. Okay, anybody else? Or move it forward?
Good. Move it forward.
Okay, you standing on the I'm guessing you're staying outside, Lance. You're sort of out and about. Yeah. Are
I'm
the
just
rest of you
reassure everyone.
coming outside as well, or are you staying inside?
I'm outside as well because
I'm gonna come out.
Go outside, yeah.
Okay, you sort of make your way on the wall. You're informed about the force that's sort of kind of making its way from the northwest. Roll me a perception check.
Did Gadden stay inside? I think Arno would stay with Gadden.
He's still there.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Perception checks are going to see in now, aren't they, as the level? Okay, yeah.
32.
So it's just the three of yous out there, yeah? And obviously, Saravel, that's fine. That's what it is fine. You notice banners fluttering. You notice that these soldiers don't seem to be wearing, they're not demonic. They're not what you would see of a general sort of evil-looking army. Their armor shines, their weapons glint in the sun. You notice the banner. Roll me a history check.
Very good. I know nothing. I know absolutely nothing.
That's a crit fail. Okay. Okay. You don't recognize the banner, Tharaval. You know this banner well because you've flown under it before. You have served under it before. You see, it's changed slightly. It's not exactly what you sort of remember, but you see the banner of Balon flying in the wind, and you see at the head of this column two female riders, flanked by guards or knights on horses as they make their way towards the gates of the complex. Saren, you think it's all a massive ruse, and this whole thing has been a trick. You don't recognize the banner. You think that's the enemy. And you're pretty confident, being a seasoned veteran as you are, that this whole thing is a ruse. So
sorry, it's just so ironic that like the one time she rolled on that one is the time she did the masters on heraldry. So she's the most qualified of all of us to know banners.
Nice shit, yeah.
But not her character. No. Not dumb stabby stab. She is dumb stabby stabby.
At least you haven't fallen in any shit this time. So.
Oh my god. Give it a chance.
Face first, right up your ass.
Oh my god.
God. Sorry, carry on.
So yes, you know, but between you, Tharaval and Saraval have completely opposing views on what this is.
So Tharaval, he sort of looks to Lance and he's like, that banner is familiar to me. And does he recognize the females?
You don't, but you're pretty confident. I think you can put two and two together. Who one of them is?
So he said he turns to Lance and is like, that banner is familiar to me. That is similar to the banner of Balon. Yeah, I think you just leave it at that.
Okay, well, let's just keep an eye on them and hope that you're right, because I think we could do with some more friends right now.
They're just waiting to ambush us.
I guess we'll see, won't we?
Stupid girl.
Okay, so anything else, or should I push forward, I guess?
As I said, I encourage everyone to at least be on guard, and we wait to see who approaches.
Okay. Unless anybody's doing anything inside, I'll just push it on. Are you wanting to do anything, say anything from inside? No. Okay. The column gets closer and closer, and the banners become more numerous. Lance, you recognize them now as they're sort of pretty close in front of you. Saren, you won't have seen them. I don't think you.
No.
You won't have seen them, so you're not, again, that sort of empty. You're still no. This whole thing is bullshit. But obviously the two who know, and you see a quite imperious looking woman in silver plate armor with a sort of purple cloak riding along. Beside her, you see Eldrith. And behind her, you see a small halfling, Cyril, sat on the back of the horse.
Okay, but Sarah knows, obviously she knows Cyril and Eldrith, and she knows that they were, like, sent away, so she would be thinking, okay,
It's a
maybe
trap!
Maybe I'm slightly might be wrong, but
yeah, like I'll not push it too far, but you're sort of. I think it's probably coming to like maybe,
maybe I'm an idiot.
Yeah, maybe this isn't a trap. The sort of lady on the horse in her armor, flanked by her guards, one who you recognize as guard captain Anders. She stops at the gate and shouts up, "Brave defenders, I, Empress Athea, Taunt, Empress of Balon, have brought my army to defend you and to defend the freedom of this country, to drive back the enemy and to help you defeat your foe. One day you saved me, now I am here to save you. May I enter?"
Step forward to the edge of the battlements and I look down and say, "You are a sight for sore eyes, and you may of course enter, but I warn you, I hope you brought medical supplies."
"We have many supplies, we have many men. We are at your service, Lance." She smiles and bows her head.
I just scream, "Open the gates!"
So the army sort of kind of makes its way in. They obviously, some of them are gawping at the sort of this huge light that's sort of kind of shining through.
Mhm.
But she makes her way into the central courtyard of the complex with her retinue, with Eldrith and Cyril on the back of the horse. Eldrith sort of gets down off her horse and goes over to you and sort of embraces you with a sort of a handshake. It's one of the sort of arm gripped ones.
Forearm grip.
Yeah, forearm grip. Yeah.
Viking handshake.
Yeah, and Cyril just sort of kind of stands there looking around, gawping at the blue light.
I call out, "Does someone want to fetch Arno, please?"
Do we hear that?
Yeah, somebody will, if not, somebody have called you, to, that there's somebody's entered the complex. So you can come out and talk to Lady Athea. Sorry, not Lady Athea, Empress Athea talked.
Anna will head up if he's been told Lance has asked for him.
He'll follow as well.
Yeah. So you make your way out and you see this sort of fresh-looking horse formed up in the square, with your brother just sat there, looking. Just looking around, like he's searching for something. He's just looking around at everything, trying to find something.
Arno, before he does anything, he just looks at Gadden, and then he turns and runs over to Cyril.
You're welcome.
He doesn't say anything. He just grasps him in a sort of running embrace, puts his elbow around his neck and just squeezes and just says, "Brother, you caused me a lot of grief. I think you dropped this." And he hands him the mug.
He sort of looks at you, like really sort of happy to see you. He seems more present than he has done. That sort of vacant, bemused look that he had it's not there anymore. He's about himself. The way he sort of talks to you, he explains what happened. He explains how I would ask what happened. Yes, they were set upon by an enemy force. An Eldrith saved them and managed to sort of make their way to the west, where they came upon the Empress Theataunt and her relief force coming the other way. But he dropped his bag, but and the mug came out, and in his haste, before he could get everything, he left the mug.
After Arno, is sure he's all right, he says, "You won't leave my side again." And then he goes to find Eldrith, and he says, "I owe you a great debt, Eldrith. I know you were not best pleased when I asked Lance to send you on this mission, but I owe you a life debt."
She looks at you with an uncharacteristic smile. She's generally quite stoic, and she says, "You owe me nothing, Master Halfling. You are the Dragon Slayer after all." And she gives you a bow, and she says, "It is my honor to bring you back your brother."
He bows back and goes over to join Cyril again.
So Empress Taunt sort of still sitting on her horse, looking around. Guard Captain Anders, or who you know as sort of Guard Captain Anders, sort of gets off his horse and comes over to embrace you, Lance. You and Tharavel.
I smile and say, I smile as best I can, obviously, and I say, "I never thought I'd be quite so happy to see that grumpy face of yours again."
He laughs and he says, "And I yours, Lance. It's good to see you, it's good to see you both." And he embraces you, and he embraces Tharavel and Cyril. He says, much has happened, and it seems that we are here to save you for once." And he sort of laughs, but he turns around and he looks and he says, "But we heard from messengers and scouts that this place was surrounded. Seems relatively benign."
Things changed all of a sudden, but the enemy had used foul sorcery and brought the undead. But it appears that something from within the temple has spared us from whatever fate they had intended. As the army has withered on the wind.
It would seem that way. And he sort of looks at the light. He then goes over to Empress Taunt, and he sort of goes to hold her hand to take her down, and she sort of waves him off, and she sort of dismounts as she would, and comes down and comes over to you all, and says, "So, what do you think?" And she sort of she does a little like twirl with her
twirl.
a little twirl. It's just like, far flung from the from that maiden you saved from the catacombs all that time ago. Look at me now, Empress taunts, and she looks sort of like, obviously not in a serious way, but sort of does it in a sort of in a joking way. She says, "It's good."
I chuckle and say, I wasn't sure that purple was your colour, but it seems to work.
I am told that purple is the color of royalty. Still getting used to it. Cozy though, keeps me warm.
I just chuckle and say, well, I'm sure that given time, we'll get used to it, as will you.
Well, there's much to be done, but it is good to see you both. Laravel, Saravel, how are you both?
It has been an age, my lady, or Empress. We have seen better times, but things are all better now that you are here.
She smiles, and always the silvered tongue there, Tharavel. And she looks over at the light, and she says, "What is this? What has happened here?"
That is an answer we are going to be seeking out shortly, now that we know that we don't have to keep our eyes beyond the walls.
I'll answer it if you want.
Arno will stand at Gadden's words, and he
Have
he
you
also goes
met?
to
By the
pray.
way, I'm just trying to think. Who you haven't met the Empress?
I have. I had a huge hand in making her.
Yeah, not
Empress,
you, but I'm
remember?
sorry, brother Gadden.
No, Gadden and Saren have never met the Empress before.
Yeah, we haven't met her yet.
Yeah, so Arno will stand when Gadden starts to speak, and he'll go and he'll sort of bow on one knee to Empress Taunt, and he will say, "Empress, it is with a great pleasure that I see you once again. Thank you for bringing my brother. Now let me make an introduction. We have added to our party since we last met. This is my good friend, Brother Gadden. He perhaps has the answers you seek." And he stays bowed. He doesn't look at her.
She just you see a hand goes down to your chin, and she sort of lifts it up, and she says, "You never need to bow. I might be an empress, but I am still your friend."
You bow to no man.
I was going to do the Lord of the Rings, like, you bow to no man.
Arno
This is
then
so gay.
looks at her for
Where
the
she
first
broke her
time,
foot.
and as Arno looks up to her, and as she takes her hand away, he grabs it just for a second, and he reaches inside his cloak and pulls something out and puts it in her hand, and he says, "I have been holding on to this, but I think it should be with you." And he lets go of her hand, and she looks down, and it's Galandra's pendant.
Wow!
Oh, get out!
Wow!
Get out! Get out!
She looks at it. Her eyes sort of well up, and she closes her hand slowly over the pendant, and puts it to her chest. And she says with a sort of semi-broken voice, I will cherish this. And then she sort of kind of tries to shake it off and looks out towards the light again, and says, "Thank you so much."
He bows And then he like beckons over. Gadden.
Oh, sorry. You're just actually watching the interaction between Arno and the Empress, but with his passive powers of perception and insight, he gathered that what he'd just handed over to the Empress was more personal and more profound than it ever sort of really understood, even without the context of it. And so he finds himself slightly awkwardly shuffling forward and says, normally I would come in with such a brazen approach and, yap my face off, but I just feel like I've entered a rather personal, intimate space, so I shall be curtain brief. Yes, as Arno here has introduced me as Brother Gadden, I am the servant of light, and I am a devout follower of Bahamut. What you see behind us here is a pillar of light doing of Bahamut himself. We need to warrant a bit of an investigation, but I believe that the servant now sits in a seat of power that protects this bastion here. I believe that it is repelling any force of evil from the confines of the space. It warrants a bit more study, which is why me and my colleague, Bartholomew over here, which I believe you...
Have you met
I'm
the
not
Empress
sure what
party? Did you meet...
We're besties. We're so tight. I think I rocked up for like the trial.
Oh, okay, that's right. Yeah, you did.
Yeah.
yeah, you did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You like basically bike shed stuff.
So,
Okay.
my colleague Bartholomew would also be joining me in assessing what happened here. But suffice to say that we're not in immediate danger right now. The Pillar of Light should be, as the plain folks say, keep the motherfuckers away. So
She looks at you with this sort of partial shock, but just like, oh my god, he just said that. Coming, looking at your sort of your garb and stuff, and she's just like, okay, a man who speaks his his mind. I like that. I think me and you are going to get on very well, Brother Gadden.
my lady, I don't have any royal lineage in this plane of existence, so I don't know if it'd be a politically correct move to be making such felicitations so early. However, having said that, if you are interested in wanting to know a little bit more and you're curious and you have the knack for the arcane, you're more than welcome to come along with me and investigate as well. Otherwise, I believe that you have some prior engagements with the rest of our party here, considering that you have much more history than I do. I've only met you 5 minutes and I already want to smile.
So you started. She has that sort of kind of Galadriel style sort of kind of smile of somebody sort of talking away, and she's just sort of listening. And she says, she's about to say how she wants to come with you, but then Guard Captain Anders says, my lady, we have to see to the defenses first, and you must rest. It has been a long day. She relents slightly, but turns to you and says, I am somewhat tired, Brother Gadden. I do wish to understand what is happening, but I feel it is in safe hands with you and with my friends. You may report back when you understand what this is.
I'll send you a nice ring-binded, leather-bound report in a book that you can then lavish whilst drinking wine by fireside. And just winks at her.
Yeah, she sort of goes a
Toothy
bit flush.
grin.
She goes a bit flush and sort of does that sort of like head thing of like, is this happening? Or and she's just like completely bemused by the whole thing.
Arno looks at Gadden in horror, like completely aghast.
Like I think everybody,
Your intro, it's on you.
I think everybody's just completely like guard,
You got me stood there looking at Gadden like, oh, for God's sake, not again.
My headphones just died, so I missed that.
Oh, no!
No. So basically,
Oh,
Brother
so-
Gaddon is flirting with
With
the Empress.
Galandra's widow.
Galanta rolls over in her grave.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, you know, the Empress seems to be going after the pious types, right? I mean, what was Galandra again? Was
She
she a
was-
paladin or a
She
cleric?
was a cleric. Yeah.
Cleric.
Yeah.
Well, borderline
Yeah.
cleric.
Lydia is spinning so hard in her grave she's generating electricity.
Before she goes, she turns and she looks directly at Niasil, and she sort of tilts her head, and she looks at you and then looks back at him and say, do I know? I feel like I know this man.
You do, but that's a long story, and I feel that you should rest in your quarters, and Sir Gregor will come to you at a later point and explain himself. I think his story merits him telling it rather than anybody else.
I step forward and say, I can assure you that he is, well, if changed, and that we have been looking after him as best we can.
She looked and she looks at you, and as you mentioned, sort of Sir Gregor, and she walks up to him, and he's taller than her now. You know, he was obviously when she saw him last, he was a teenage boy, and she sort of looks at him up and down. Niasil just kneels before her with he's got Lightbringer. He doesn't have. You got hit with you. Who's got Hithway's Bane?
This
Me.
question comes up so often.
Yeah,
No, I've got Lightbringer. I have Lightbringer. He has Hithwaite's Bane.
It's
It's the same as who's got the sending stones.
Yeah.
I swear we
Okay, yeah.
should
So
have,
he
like,
just
little
sort
Nice
of
to
kneels
have his
with
Bane.
he kneels with his sword, and he says, "Empress, Niasil, at your service." And she looks slightly confused, and she looks to you, Niasil? You look familiar to me, Knight. You look very familiar to me. Niasil just says nothing. He just keeps himself kneeled with his sword. And she doesn't say anything else to him. She just sort of looks at him, puts her hand on his shoulder, takes it off again, and then sort of walks off, looking slightly confused. But she says, "I am tired. I must rest. Yeah, I must rest. There's a lot has happened very quickly." And so she calls over, she rolls over Captain of the Guard, and it's now Captain of the Royal Guard, Captain Anders, who gets her, takes her with her retinue and goes off to find some digs, basically, where she can stay and rest. Okay, so the rest of before she goes, does anybody want to say anything, do anything, or?
Nope, Seren is
No.
keeping family out the way because this is like way beyond her doing.
Okay, so she
I
takes.
smile
Yeah.
and walk over to her and say, Your Majesty, as you have arrived here and have brought many reinforcements, I would like to formally surrender my temporary post as the leader of the garrison to yourself and to the good captain, so that I can focus more on my more practice duties of hitting things very hard until they lay down.
Lance, are you sure? He just looks at him like slightly bewildered, like, are you sure?
She looks at you, Lance, and she says, she looks at you, and then she looks around, and she says to you, why would you surrender to me what is rightfully yours, Sir Lance? And she says, kneel.
Reluctantly, I do so.
As you kneel, she puts her hand out, and the guard captain gives her her sword. She then knights you on the spot. In the name of Balin, in the name of Freya, in the name of the free peoples, I, Empress Taunt, knight thee, Sir Lance, Captain General of the Temple of Devotion. Rise, Sir Lance.
I get up and I quietly lean forward and say, Your Majesty, I don't know if I should thank you or curse you.
I'm trying to think what films that's from, because there's a reply. He says, oh shit. Says, I know how you feel. She says, I know how you feel. But yeah, she says, I have heard of all you have done from my scouts and from those who have greeted me here. You have done a good service. You have done a great service for this place. You and all of you have done great services to this place. Because of you, this bastion still stands, and the enemy is not here. This is yours now. You will defend it and its holy beacon. She looks up at the blue light. Anybody else before she sort of takes herself off?
No, he will. He's introduced and say, you know what, your Majesty, I thought for a moment there that you were going to say something utterly absurd and take control, but no, I'm glad to see that you have a modicum of smarts about you. I would be interested to pick your brains about other things, but for the meanwhile, I'm glad that you didn't let this tin can here get away from his responsibility, what is rightfully his.
She sort of she's sort of conflicted, because obviously she is an empress and there is technically a way to speak to her, but because she's from she's been around those lot, you guys, the other lot, very long, and she knows how they speak, and she just nods her head and says, I might take you up in that drink, Brother Garden. And she turns to Lance and says,
there in the background, just like that, off.
Turns to Lance and says, you came to Balon, but a adventurer with a history that talked of failure and of sadness, you had a darkness that seemed to follow you around, and here you are, the literal beacon of light emanating from this place. This is where you are meant to be, Lance. Nay, Sir Lance, this is yours.
I just shake my head and say, I didn't come to be someone of such high office. I just came here to do what was right and to take care of those who sought to do harm to others.
Literally, as
Sorry,
he's talking, he's
gotta-
just mimicking this.
Excuse me, I've a tickle in my throat.
And then like Garen's just like,
She turns to you.
Obviously.
She turns to you, Tharavel, and she says, "Tharavel, if you don't be quiet, I'll knight you as well."
Please, no. I have no want for such such titles.
Yes, I thought so.
I'm feeling much better now.
oh god.
Okay, so she takes herself off to have a rest as the soldiers sort of get given their orders to see to the defense of the complex and to help with any tasks that need to be done.
I just want to have a slight moment with the team before we move on, because there's some conversation that I feel just needs to be filled in before we go ahead. As the Empress sort of leaves, and her retinue sort of like, spread out and go about their business, he turns to Lance and he says, if you decided you were going to shirk off your responsibilities, I think the first thing you needed to do was figure out how many people you would have let down because they looked up to you.
I wasn't seeking to shirk my responsibilities. I simply thought that she could do a better job than I could.
Yeah, stop talking shit. You know you're good at this. Look, I've done this enough times to see it when somebody's so good that they just can't see past their own grief and past their nose. And I'm not playing therapist here, although I'm very qualified to do so. But like, we also keep getting fucked over all the time by powers that are higher than us. For once in our lives, we now have an opportunity to marshal forces without having to constantly do godforsaken, unwashed bottom business. So, if you were going to relinquish it, I would have slapped you in front of the Empress's face and said, "No, he's keeping it." So I'm glad she did knight you.
I'm pretty sure that you don't need to slap my face in front of her. You've already scared the living bejesus out of her already. And I thought that Guard Captain Anders was going to either cheer or possibly stick something large and pointy through you.
Empty threats. I've had more foreplay from a dragon. But now I'm serious. I'm very serious. You've now got an army behind you. We're now able to do more things than we have possible. And it's not just the 5 of us anymore. I mean, sure, we're fantastic. Like, we should be called the famous 5. But the point here is...
Yeah.
Of course there is.
Oh no!
Of course,
Is there?
Seren,
Or
yeah.
is there?
Yes,
Listen.
Seren, there's 6. Equal.
5.5.
amongst the others.
I'm not good with numbers. You should know this by now.
Unfortunately, yes, I do.
You see? But no, listen. We've how many times have we been caught in situations where we just needed more help and less, schmoozing and bumblefucking around with idiots that aren't qualified to do this. We're now here in this position, so I think we should take advantage of this. And I'm sorry, Lance, but you've got the short straw in terms of the responsible one.
I'm on board with the good brother here. Let's throw a fucking coup.
We don't need to. We are the coup. So,
Just push the Empress off a wall?
Didn't we just put her on the seat?
No, yeah, we put her on the
Exactly.
seat. But
Who's gonna expect? Who's gonna point the finger?
Barty,
No.
are you all quite insane today? Is this how I lose it?
I'm not insane. I'm actually trying to put this on the path. Saren, please.
Insane.
It's true.
No.
Since we started making moves, the world's got a lot better. Look,
Exactly.
Magic Light.
Thank you.
We did
Right.
that.
I don't know if we did that. We need to ask questions because I heard a child there in the middle of the beam, so that has a lot of concerns.
Don't
to me.
you worry. I'm going to study it thoroughly, and when I
Not
write
without
it up,
me. Not without me.
with your help, yes, we will do it together. And when we write it up, everyone will know what we did here today.
You are
Great.
beginning to sound like an old friend of ours before he was reminded of his position and his duties. We should be content.
Oh, come
with
now!
its
You wanted
support.
to fuck a genie a week ago.
Are you wasted or something?
Like he's had no D&D outlook for a while, and he's just going for it. He's just like, all balls to the wall, just going for it.
No, we thought we had to worry about Jay.
Where's the mic?
No, I think no, and he just looks
God.
at both Anna and Barty, and he says, "You know something? Ever since the light has somehow opened our eyes and expanded our capabilities, I don't know about you, but I feel different, and I feel so much more attuned than I have previously before. So, and
I feel
maybe
like I
this
need
is
more
just."
of a drink.
And maybe this is just Barty finally unleashing his sort of closed book approach and being a bit more open. Maybe this is what he writes in his journal. Dear diary, this person wanted to fuck a gin.
Hey.
Or maybe
I
you could just
journal what
blow
I
to the
can.
head.
Listen,
Oh,
I
God.
apologize. I apologize. My words
No,
are
you don't.
harsh. My ideas may be fanciful, but I'm just a tired bookshop assistant. Spent many weeks fighting demons. I'm a little out of my depth, but we do the best we can. But Brother Gaddin's not wrong. I mean, we are, if we take charge of our own fate, we seem to be doing quite a good job of it.
Exactly. And speaking of taking charge of our own fate, Tharavol, Serval, at some point, you can't keep escaping fate. You know who you are. And if this big dragon god here that I've seemed to have adopted as my deity, he has his way, by the time we're done here, you two will be lauded as heroes of an elven kingdom long forgotten.
Not if we have anything to say about it.
I see what to stay forever and fine, whatever. In any case, I don't know about you all, but definitely Barty. Arno, if you're interested, you feel free to come downstairs, but I'm gonna go find out what's going on with this Tower of Light. As much as it's done good for us at the moment, I don't know what's beyond the Bastion, and I need to make sure that this thing stays. You'll have to pardon the pun here, but it stays erect. And then I don't know what else happens beyond the walls personally, but I imagine that the forces that were at bay, are they really gone? Let's find out.
Yes, the as powerful as the magic it may be, divine or not, we know that the Red Witches were capable of corrupting almost anything.
And I want to
Easily be turned
find
against
this.
us.
Yes, and Barty, I don't know about you, but I kind of want to go find them, find any more of these Red Witches, and exact some five-fingered revenge into their so-called abysses. And just kind of like
Wow.
balls a fist up.
I mean, yes,
Gonna fist
they
him.
do have a charm, don't they?
That imagery. That imagery.
I shake my head and say, I do wish someday that I can actually find out what vows you were supposed to take, because they must have been very interesting.
I do believe there's a reason he was sent to this plane, and I don't think it was as
I think it was
Wow.
mostly to irritate the crap out of me. Oh my god, do I need a drink?
I think they couldn't stand him anymore. Exactly. I don't think they even cared where they sent him.
If you thought, if
Open
you
the
thought
book,
I
Make
was
lots of
bad,
sense.
He's the Johnny English of his plane.
can you imagine? Listen, my dear friends. If you thought I was annoying, you waited till you meet the rest of my kin. They are all just as infuriating because we don't actually serve one god. We have a pantheon of gods. So good luck. I think we were driven demented. I'm kind of glad to be serving one and not 19.
Okay, so who's going down to sort of check out the source of the light then?
Choosing words carefully, I will accompany.
I'm going down with Cyril, not for the light, but because I have a bit of cleanup to do. Because if you remember, the entire contents of my demi-plane were scattered around that room.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
he's gonna be sort of tidying up and securing what possessions aren't destroyed.
So many satin cushions.
Only
All
some
the
of which
cushions.
that are sticky.
Yeah,
Brass
it's
God.
there's sort of this scroll. All the pages are stuck together.
Oh, why are all these paperweights conical?
Hey, come on.
Okay, so you go
Right.
off to that. Brother Gaddon and Bartholomew are off down to check out the source,
Catacomb.
the source of the light. What about the rest of you?
I apparently have to go and organise shit because I've been left in charge in spite of trying to step down.
Yep. So you have you have a citadel effectively to run. So yep, you're you can go up and do that. Saren, what are you up to?
I am going to go back to the tree that I buried my necklace,
Okay.
and I'm going to dig it back up, and I'm just going to sit there in contemplation and kind of like take 5 minutes to breathe.
I
Okay.
thought you needed a drink.
Drink comes later. Drink comes afterwards.
No, she's gonna sit by the tree and brings out the holy water, and then she's going to glug 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 while she gets the pendant, and she goes, "What the fuck have I done here?"
Tharavel, Saravel, what are you up to?
Before Lance goes off, Tharaval sort of approaches him, and he sort of salutes, but sort of like quite sort of nonchalant, and he says, my services are at your disposal, General.
I look at him.
If Gadon's in earshot of that, you just hear him cackle.
Oh, all the references.
As you're
I
walking
just-
off, you just hear a laugh coming from, sort of kind of echoing backwards towards
I look at him and I say, I would caution you to be a little tiny bit more respectful. Otherwise, there's an awful lot of steps in this citadel to scrub.
Tharavel sort of giggles to himself, and he walks off. He says, "Piss off."
That's funny.
Okay, where are
So
you
the
off
funnier
to?
is the bit where I signal to one of the guards and get him dragged off to spend some time in the cells.
So what are you off to? Saravel and Tharavel, what are you
They'll go and check out the light with Gadden and.
Okay. All right. So
Let's do all the fun stuff if everyone keeps on putting me in charge of shit.
as you're in charge, you can go as well. It is
Delegate.
you can go. You can delegate. Yeah, delegate.
Yeah.
That sounds good to me.
So you delegate. You sort of get some of the lieutenants and sort of junior officers to go around and do their business, and you sort of make your way down to the catacombs with the rest of the party. You make your way into these catacombs. You notice that there's debris everywhere, and you notice that the entrance to the central sort of chamber has been destroyed but cleared. As you sort of kind of walk in, you see this wide open area. You've been there before, but you've not seen it as it is now. You see,
Does it reek of everything that we think it reeks of, like all the undead, the dead bodies and whatnot? Are they still cleared out?
You see nothing other than a queue of people in an orderly line, making their way up the central staircase of the platform. Okay, I'll stick you in the nobody's The nobody's.
Yeah.
In this case.
This is where we actually get to go back to it, because before we couldn't go back to another one, so this is quite cool.
Not yet. You could, in theory, go back to nobody's one because it is on your way. Okay.
I'm gonna delete the. I know I keep it just for shits and giggles.
I'm gonna. There are some zombies and stuff flying around here.
And defiled catacombs and mausoleums.
Oh yeah.
Why did this one looks like a circus clown? She has no extra appendage. She's riding a horse.
Right. What's this? There. Let's delete that.
It's the fact that he hasn't erased it yet. That's what's getting me.
I didn't think you were going to. I was just going to describe it to you. I didn't sort of think you were going to come down here and stuff.
Impulse control failure.
But yeah, you know, if you're watching this now or watching it back, then you need to watch the Nobodies too to get the reference and why there's
Interesting designs.
Interesting designs. But yeah.
I'm sorry, some of this is so ridiculous. Anyway, but I'm also like blood splatters everywhere, so it's just like this is this. Anyways, sorry.
Okay,
A
so
load of puns, really.
you have like as you go in, you have queues of people lining up as they're sort of walking as they're making their way up to the source of the light. There are guards around, sort of standing there, but you've just got queues of people. So yeah, kind of like this. Lots of people.
The voice was Lionel. I'm very slow today.
Yeah, did you not get that? Yeah. The voice was Lionel. So yeah, you sort of make your way and you see this sort of queue and you hear people whispering about a saint. You hear sort of utterances of a saint called Lionel, Saint Lionel. That looks like a queue enough. Yeah. So you got that. Yeah. So you're sort of at the back here. There's a big queue of people near the pimped up statues, the pimped up crypts. Yeah. So what are you doing?
He's gonna wait in line so he can investigate it himself. He's not gonna like push in or anything like that. It just seems so like pompous for us to have gone through. So he'll make small. He'll join the line, but as he does, he'll kind of make small talk with the last person that was in the line, and he says, "So, forgive me. My name is Brother Gadden, and I'm here with my associates here. I don't actually. You may or not have seen them, but we're just here to investigate what's going on with the Tower of Light, and I'm just hearing whispers around, but Saint Lionel?"
Yes. Oh yes. Saint Lionel. We were told that in our time of need, he placed himself on the altar and gave his soul to Bahamut, and this happened. This miracle happened. Saved us from all the undead. I was down here. I saw this. One of those zombies nearly took a chump out of my George. Isn't that right, George? And George is like, "Yeah, that's right, love." And Sir Lionel, yeah, they yeah, he's up there. Some say if you touch him, he'll cure all your illnesses.
Hang on a minute. What do you have? He just looks so bewildered by it. Like,
he said, "Oh, it's not for me. It's my George. He's got gout, you see." And I'm saying, I think if he,
And she's just like, he at this point, he's a little bit annoyed because like there are clerics everywhere. Why hasn't the cleric helped him out? So he literally goes and says, I'm sorry, sweetheart, but 1 second. And then he literally casts a cure disease on George. And then
George
I'm
kind
gonna
of
see
goes.
if I can play.
He sort of like flexes, but he says, "It's a miracle! It's a miracle, Sir." And she's like, "It's a miracle." Saint Lionel has cured me.
Don't. That's blasphemy. St. Lionel is an agent of the Lord Bahamut. So if anything, St. Lionel and Bahamut. Don't do this again, please. And he's about to get irate, and he just like goes, no, pay your respects, but there are clerics here that can also help out as well. Just seek them and ask. Don't wait in a line and wait for a tragedy to happen. You can fix this much sooner.
They one of the one of the people in front says, he just wants to see, he just wants to be nosy. Isn't that right, George? You just want to be no, I was ill. I'm cured now though. Yeah, I do. I do want to see what's up there though.
Okay, fine. And you told me zombies. You were here and there were zombies? What happened exactly?
He wasn't there. He wasn't there. He's lying. I was too. I was too. I came down. Don't you lie. You were upstairs in a bloody... You were upstairs cowering in the pig pen, you little shit. It's like, oh, no, I wasn't. I was down here fighting zombies. It's like, don't listen to him. He's lying.
So what is the story then?
From what I've been told, something happened down here. There was an infection. A load of zombies got in, killed a load of people, and a young boy. So Saint Lionel, as is, gave up his life to save us all. He's the reason you see no zombies anymore. That they're not at our walls, and they're not here. That's what I've been told.
And do you know what St. Lionel is in at the moment? Like this whole place here, it's a holy area, but I've never seen it in the... Well, actually, hang on. Before I open up my mouth and chat shit, can I do a history check to see if there's anything in the... when him or Barty were reading about...
You'll know this, but you've been
down
down here before, so I'm not saying you don't know about it, but it's... you know its sort of layout brief, roughly, and you know that there was a sort of holy altar with a sort of gemstone and an inert, what you thought was like just an inert relic on this thing. You I don't think you've ever sort of like seen. You've just been told that it's a holy relic. You've never really shown any major interest to it, but now it is sort of beaming with light, and allegedly there is a young boy up there as well.
Okay, so Barty, turns out that we've got a little secret weapon that we've been sitting on this whole time, and makes me wonder if we're now, thankfully, that Lance served.
Oh, frozen.
And
Unfortunate.
Oh, you're frozen.
busted.
He's frozen, and I'm...
Busted.
Well, he's frozen. Does
You should
anybody...
be quiet.
Yeah, anybody else want to carry on?
Who else was down? No, sorry.
Ollie is pretty much...
We've all gone down together. So
Except
Bar Arno, who's gone off to repatriate his things.
Into his ring.
His ring got destroyed, didn't it?
Well, his ring's broken in it. Ow.
Wide open.
Yeah, busted wide open.
well, you know what they say. What
okay,
they say about bards, don't you?
Yep. So the queue sort of slowly makes its way up bit by bit as you're sort of waiting in the queue. You make your way.
Sorry, Jason's just texted saying his husband turned off the router.
Impeccable timing.
Oh, no way.
It's a great meme image of Jace as well.
Yeah.
Someone take a
Oh,
snapshot.
1 minute, print screen. Whoosh.
Got it. Wallpaper.
Oh man.
Okay,
find
so
it any better.
you slowly make your way up the stairs of the where the central dais is. People seem to be standing there praying. Some sort of kneel down. Some get up and say that they've been healed. Others faint and have to be carried off. As sort of time goes on, and you're there for a fair time, you notice there is a small group of there's a small. Oh, he's back.
It's so. Oh my god, I can't believe it.
Why did he turn off the router?
So there's 2 routers. We got the main router that goes into the house, and then we've got like a Wi-Fi extender, and then I've got an Ethernet attached to it. So he switched off the router underneath the TV. So I was just like, why would you do that for? So he's fine. He's just done it, but it's just funny as fuck. Midway through me about to go into one.
So
Don't let me. Go on.
Yeah, so we basically said you've slowly made your way to the center. There, people have sort of claimed they've been healed. Others have sort of fainted. People are sort of kind of slowly making their way, saying what they need to say. There is a group of there's sort of like a woman, and there's sort of three sort of men. One that looks like a sort of a knight, sort of kneeling beside the central dais. You notice within this light, you see a figure of a child, effectively sat cross-legged in the center of this light, just looking not at you but through you, as you sort of kind of make yourself, as you get closer towards where the central dais is.
He's gonna size up the three men there, and begins to ask them all the questions. Well, before anything, he actually introduced himself. Gentlemen, my name is Brother Gadden, and I am of the Order of Bahamut. I'm in service to him as a cleric, and I assume that we're in the presence of Saint Lionel, and you 3 are supposedly his guardians based on the posture that you've assumed around him.
I'll let you do this, because Calla Reese will be the one who will reply to you. The other 2 sort of kind of stay kneeled and don't say anything. Calla Reese looks somewhat annoyed at your questioning, as he's your character. You can say what he would say.
So he's gonna grunt, and he's just gonna look at the Gadden up and down as if to say, like, he's such an interloper, just get on with it. But Gadden has kind of like gathered based on the fact that he can see the holy symbol of Bahamut like dangling from the monk's chain thingy. There's another fellow fellow clergyman, if you will. I won't wax lyrical. I know you hate such formalities. So I don't actually have any questions other than perhaps, can he speak to us?
The knight in the center sort of stoically says, if he wants to speak to you, he will speak to you.
Okay. Good enough for me. Sir Lionel, can you hear me?
Lionel.
Lionel?
Oh, Michael.
Oh, yeah.
Hello.
Father!
Father.
He's my next. He's my next character.
Father.
That's brilliant.
As you sort of say, Lionel, nothing happens. The lady who was sat there sort of gets off her knees and sort of sort of slowly walks over to you with her hands sort of kind of up, and she says, my son seems to only speak to those who need it. I wish he would speak to me sometimes, but I know he has greater things that burden him. It will come, though. He will speak to you if you're needed to be spoken to. Patience, my child. And she smiles, sort of pats the side of your arm, and then goes back and kneels down.
Just looks at her. At first, like, amused that she's kind of schooling him on the, I guess, the religion of it all. And then decides that, you know what, the people need their place. They need their source of strength. And then looks at Lionel and he says,
Roll me religion.
oh, yes, that's the magic I'm looking for. Okay, let's go. I'm also going to add my 1d10 inspiration to this because I'm had enough of religion fucking me over. It should be my strong suit, but apparently not. When the sheet decides to load back up again. Thank you, internet. So religion. I've actually got terrible religion, despite the fact I'm a cleric. Hello?
Yeah, religion 1. Oh, there you go. That's a...
There you go.
Nice.
There you go. Nice. Okay. You are about to say his name once again, and then you sort of... his eyes lock with yours, and they sort of kind of... They fixate onto your eyes. You find yourself... you find yourself in a glade. You find yourself looking at a you see a boy sitting in the center of what looks like a you've got a table in the center of the glade. One side is lush green with flowers and things. The other side is decayed and burnt and destroyed. You see two people sitting. So you see one person, a dark-haired lady sitting at the table, pushing a dragon chess piece, or trying to push it forward. You see this boy sort of sat in the middle, intensely looking, with one finger and a thumb sort of pointed out, trying to stopping her from making her move. You don't see anybody in the other chair. You just see this woman intently trying to push this piece forward as he stops her.
He knows I take it that he's seen this woman in some way, shape, or form.
Yes.
In various different forms. Okay.
Yes.
So at this point, he's quite bold, and he goes and approaches the table, looks around at the scene, and immediately recognizes what this sort of like metaphysical place is, and actually boldly sits in the seat that's empty and looks at both who he assumes is Lionel based on the characteristics, and then the woman on the opposite side.
Okay. Right. Okay. So you're sat in the seat. Lionel's eyes dart towards you as you sit in the seat. You see concern in his eyes. As you turn around, the dark-haired lady, her yellow serpentine eyes flick towards yours. A toothy grin sort of appears on her face. She's still forcing that piece forward with one hand, but with the other, it seems more relaxed. And she starts to sort of play with her hair slightly as she looks at you. Why are you here, Leonin? What would bring you to my realm?
He just stares at her, quite smugly, as if like just trying to wind her up with his toothy grin.
She
and
sorry,
just gonna.
You're just gonna stare.
Did you hear that?
You're gonna stare her out
for a bit, and then just wait to see if she just like gets if it unnerves her.
She just looks at you, and the smile stays there, and she looks at the pieces in front of you. Roll me a wisdom saving throw, please.
Sure thing. Wisdom saving throw. Can I roll my inspiration on top of that?
You can roll another one for your inspiration, yeah.
Roll another one or roll the 1d10? How do you want to do this?
Roll me a 1d10.
So I got 17.
17. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So, you sort of feel her scratching around in your brain. You sort of feel her tendrils sort of reaching out, but you manage to sort of see them off quite easily. She's still focusing quite hard on what the piece she has in front of her, and she seems slightly miffed that she can't sort of ensnare you to do what she wants.
So at this point, now that he sees that she's a little she's irritated, he says to her, "Listen, sweetie darling, I came here with the purpose of higher cause, glory, because where I come from, there's no greater deed than to die honorably in battle, and to show what your worth is, and to be sung songs of until the world has forgotten about you, and that the entire machinations of existence fall quiet. So I'm actually not quite... The only selfishness that I have here is that I just want other people to sing about me and my friends as we absolutely lay waste to your carefully laid plans. But sadly, as much as I'd like to talk to you, really, I want to just see how Lionel is, because you're a stinky petty bitch, and he's a nice little boy who has done so much for the world without even being asked to do so. So, my dear friend Lionel, how are you? And then he just turns to the child and kind of brazenly ignores the woman.
She, as you turn, she's like, "You like the sound of your own voice, don't you, cat? Well, you won't be purring for much longer after I devour your soul and your body. In all the levels of hell, you will beg me. Beg me." You hear her sort of kind of straining still the piece that she's trying to force forward. Lionel, you hear his voice saying to you, "Master Cleric, I suggest you leave that chair. It is not the safest place to be. I applaud your bravery, but you need to get up now."
I will, in a moment. I know it's not safe. I'm playing a game as well. I just wanted to make sure that you knew how much your family, your friends, and the world values you and thanks you from the bottom of their heart. And to know that you will never be forgotten, and that in another life, you would have lived a healthy, heroic tale. And then he kind of just attempts to put his hand on his shoulder just so that it gives him strength, knowing what he's going through.
Roll me, because you're gonna have to get up. Roll me another wisdom save.
Sure. Ooh. Oh.
Okay. You try to get up, but you are stuck to the chair. You're forced around to face her, and she's right in front of you, like leaning over the board, not past her the dividing point, but right there. She starts to the piece that she has starts to move forward further, and your hand starts to raise up to place on the go on one of the pieces as well. She's like, "He's gone. You're here, and you're weaker than I am."
Cliffhanger.
It is 11 o'clock now, actually, so that would probably be a good place to leave it.
Oh yeah.
It's a pretty good cliffhanger, to be honest.
Adam, what have you done?
Okay, yeah, great, nice, very good. Good to be back. Good to be back. All right, so we still have, or is everybody good for the second for next week?
Yeah.
I think so.
Yes, I think so. Yeah.
Week after,
okay.
I am back in Northern Ireland. We could potentially still do it because I can bring my laptop and stuff with me. I just might everything with me. Just the option.
Earth then.
Yep. Yeah, so next week we will hopefully carry on with the exciting goings on. Has anybody else got anything they want to do or say before we end it?
No, I think next week's good.
Yep, cool. Right.
Don't want to muddy the waters when you've got such a good cliffhanger going. Huh?
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. As soon as he went, "I'm going to take that chair," I was like, "Oh, I have such a good idea for this."
Good.
This is like, he sits in the chair, and I was like, "Yep."
My brain
Okay.
just went, oh, for
What's
God's
the rest
sake.
of the party seeing, by the way?
You will just see Gadden. You will
Just
see
in stasis
Gadden sort of kind of stood there, just staring at Lionel. You know, you peep as this is happening. People are sort of walking past you and sort of meeting sort of Lionel and then walking off. You see a couple of guards carrying a soldier up the stairs. He's like, "Fucking hell, mate, be careful!" And he's like, as he sort of gets up, he says, "As you notice, Gant sort of being lifted up beside the dais. He sort of looks at you and says, What are you cunts doing up here?"
I look at him and just say, "Right now, I'm fighting an urge to do something very severe. So why don't you just control your mouth?"
This is all right there, General. I've heard about your promotion. Actually, in fact, I'm not doing the accent justice. I have to leave it. Michael, you can take over from this point. He's basically he's here to get his legs fixed, basically.
Oh, General, I'm about to get my fucking legs fixed. So you do what you want, and if you piss me off, I'll be after you with both legs, you cunt.
I just look at you and I just say, first off, you're assuming that I'm not going to order them to take you back out and chuck you in a dungeon as far away from this poor young boy as possible, because I don't need you running after me, really, because you're a pain in the backside. Secondly, you had a job to do. You have a job to do. What are you doing down here?
Well, General, as my legs aren't exactly doing as they're told right now, it makes my job a little bit difficult. so let me get myself fixed up, and I'll be along in a pop.
I just looked at the soldier and said, "Just get it over and done with, and then chuck him in a cell to sober up."
Oh my god! I want Gant in the team.
Yeah.
I want Gant in the team.
So they carry him up, and Gant sort of looks a bit sort of, you know, doesn't know what to do. He sort of like, you know, do I pray? Oh, what I do? He sort of kind of gets down on his knees and does something. He looks sort of like, you know, it's not working, and he's about to give up. He's about to say, I fucking knew this, this wouldn't happen. And then suddenly he just sort of he just freezes. And then seconds later he jumps to his feet, completely healed. And go, Michael.
Well, I can skip about like Mary fucking Poppins. look at me go! Look at me go! And there's like a little sort of guy sitting in the corner. He's like, magic legs.
While Gant goes up, going, "Probably he's after spend time. Really never needed a reason, never needed a rhyme."
He sort of like stands in front of Lance, and he sort of like, starts doing like the sort of Cossack dance and everything with his legs kicking out. Look at me.
Okay, I'm going to have a bit of a callback here. I'm going to pat him on the head.
with your axe.
Oh, just with my hand.
Yeah, he's still only like a level 2 or whatever and stuff, but he's like, yeah. So he's sort of acting.
Gant's dead.
He's acting the goat, and not the sort of new version of what goat is. It's the old version of what a goat is acting.
Mhm.
Yeah. And you sort of knock him on the head. He sort of does that sort of, whoop, and then falls over. You nod to the guards who pick him up. And trail him off to stick him in a cell for a couple of nights for insubordination.
Oh,
Gant!
Gant's
I
gonna be
just turn around.
such.
I turn around to Tharavon and say, "It's all about having the common touch."
Oh, Gant, I love him.
Right,
So
on that that bombshell, we will leave it. So we've got a nice cliffhanger for next week. Gant's got his legs again, so may or may not be around if he gets out of his jail cell. But yeah, that was great. Thank you very much for tonight. I've been Matt Gary. With me has been Conrad as Arnold Jerkel,
Doodles.
Michael's Tharavel Eldon,
Farewell, adventurers!
Jade's his brother Gadden.
Let's just both agree that you're slags.
Lecky is Bartholomew Pringle.
Hello, everyone.
Marcus Lance.
What's the guy got to do to get demoted around here?
And Vic as Saren Sanguine.
Arrivederci.